Hey there, Scott Barosik from Pro Art Custom Paint and Graphics. This is the first in 3 videos I will be posting to explain how I airbrushed this piece for ThermoKing. And this is the centerpiece that goes to their refrigeration units that goes on the front of a semi-truck. When I got the part, it was white, and of course I like working on black. So I had to paint the whole thing black first. I start with 180 grit, rough up the white plastic, went over with 3 coats of primer, let that sit for overnight, 12 hours, went back in, sanded that down, wet sanded with 320 grit, got that nice and smooth. Then I applied my base coat black, House of Color black. Then I applied 3 good coats of UC 35 clear. I let that dry for 24 to 48 hours. Then I went back in and wet sanded it again with 320 grit. Got it nice and smooth. Try to get all your orange peel out, because if you don't, that might show up in your airbrushing later down the line. So you got to make sure you get all that orange peel out, get it perfectly smooth. Next I apply my Gerber mask, and I have 18-inch wide Gerber mask on a roll. You roll that out and you transfer your drawing onto the Gerber mask using Sorel transfer paper. Next, you use a number 11 X-Acto knife and you cut out anywhere you don't want overspray to get onto. So right there I'm doing the sign and I'm doing the truck, because once I get blowing air around here, blowing paint, you don't want it to settle on there. It just makes a nice clean surface for when you get to it. Now I start with my white. The way you mix the white is, use maybe 1/4 white with probably 12 parts reducer, and give it a try. And if your gun starts spitting white pieces of white paint or globs of white paint, it means your paint's too thick. So you got to go back in, throw more reducer at it. You reduce it until it quits spitting, and you got the right consistency. It should flow nice. You shouldn't have no blocking of the airbrush. You shouldn't have no white pieces of white paint spitting onto your painting. It should go nice and smooth. So first you start with your white, then you go back in with black. You add your, and reduce that the same way. And you go back in and add your detail, get the clouds, get everything drawn the way it should look, like a drawing, pencil drawing. When you get everything the way you want it, then you go back in with your House of Color urethane candies. And the way you mix that is you take your intensifier, House of Color intensifier, mix it probably 1 to 4 with SG 100 Intercoat Clear. Or nowadays, I don't know what it's called, but they're Intercoat Clear. And then you reduce it the same way. If it starts spitting, you got it too thick. Add more reducer to it. Same as the black and white. Then you go back in, add your color. In this case, I did oranges, blue up in the sky, oranges in the clouds, give it that sunset look. Then I went back in and I started with my mountains. Now the mountains, if you notice, the mountains in the background have a lot more orange in them than the ones in the foreground. You want those mountains to sit in the background, so you add orange to it because the sky has got orange in it, and you want that mountain to look like it's back into the clouds. So you add orange to the mountains in the background. The further forward you come, the less orange, the more root beer you put into it. That way you get the front to pop from the back, and it gives it that depth, that deep, far off look. All of these mountains in background, sky, mountains, foreground, this was all made up out of my head. I just played, went along with it, made it up, figured I wanted a desert scene because desert heat, you want that reefer to be cool everything, so there's a good contrast. When it comes to the sign and the truck, I had reference that I used. So find yourself a good photograph. The better the photograph, the better piece, better you're going to be able to airbrush it for reference. In that case, I'll be explaining in this next video how to backmask, paint in your sign, and paint in the truck. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and whatever you want to do, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you again for watching. Have a good one. Stay tuned for part 2, ThermoKing. Reefer Madness.